Alright guys, thank you for checking out this week's episode of the Weekly Grind Podcast. We are on episode number 7, and we are basically just talking general discussion about Hearthstone. We all try to play competitively right now. I'm probably the least competitive in the middle of a move right now. But we will be talking just about decks we've been playing, decks we've been seeing right now in the ladder, and how we finished off last month's ladder. Got those cool new card backs. The Halloween card backs. Those are real cool. The Hollow's Eve. Those are awesome. And we will also just really be talking about what we've been playing, what we've been doing. And you can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/theweeklygrind podcast. We are also on Tumblr at theweeklygrindpodcast.tumblr.com. And we are also on Twitter at twitter.com/weeklygrindpod. You can also find us on YouTube, and you can also find us on iTunes. We will be switching our iTunes very soon to a different podcast provider, so any subscribers, you will probably have to resubscribe in the next couple of weeks. If you'd like to email us, let us know reviews, anything you want a shout out, you want to send us anything, you can send it to theweeklygrindpodcast@gmail.com. And we also have some subscribers this week on YouTube. Thank you very much to Burnt Zone, Nefo's Channel, Chris Raptis, David Ortiz, Cameron Blevins, which is my little brother, thanks man, Don Kamikaze, and Giwirios Taxta. I am sorry if I pronounced your name incorrectly, but thank you very much for subscribing. We are very thankful for it. And please enjoy this episode of the Weekly Grind Podcast. Grind on. Alright guys, thank you for checking out this week's episode of the Weekly Grind Podcast. I am your host, Spirit Bomb.
I am Dave, Wings of Wax.
I'm Paul, Rice Cakes.
Let's hop right into this. Let's see, what are our favorite classes this week? Paul, why don't you start this one?
Since the rank reset, I've been playing like a lot of Hunter, but before the season ended, I was playing a lot of Druid and having some success with it.
Yeah. How about you, Dave?
I've been playing a little bit of Hunter, but lately it's been Warrior just to see how far I can get with it. Because Zoo and Hunter got me up a little further in the ranks. I think it got me to like 12, and then since then I think I'm at 9 right now. I've been playing Warrior since 12.
Yeah. I've been playing myself. I've been playing a lot of Warrior. I do a switching between Zoo here and there, just kind of depending what decks I was up against. But I did make it up to rank 4 at the end of the ladder, and now that the ranks have reset, I haven't really played any Constructed, to be honest. I went to Rhode Island Comic-Con this weekend, so I've been a little bit preoccupied with that and moving and such. But moving on, this is going to be a short one this week, so we're not going to cover everything that we usually cover, but we'll cover a general chunk of what we go over. So we'll just start with our, we'll elaborate a little bit more on our favorite classes. So Paul, you were saying Hunter and Druid?
Yeah, basically.
And
why have you been liking Hunter this week?
I just started playing Hunter because usually when the resets happen, like, it's a lot easier to get back up, like a win streak bonus with the aggro deck.
Agreed.
And then I like Druid because, Innervate's a dumb card. You can do a lot of stupid things with it.
It does power out. It's probably some of the most powerful things in the game. So.
Yeah, like turn 1 Shade is pretty good.
Yeah.
Always a good thing to see.
Yeah.
How about you, Dave? You want to elaborate a little bit more on your favorite class this week?
I kind of have to agree with Paul. When the season first begins, I like to pick an aggressive deck, so I usually go with either Hunter or Zoo. And then once I usually get to the lull point, where that's kind of like where I stay stagnant at a certain rank, I try to switch it up to like a control deck, because I feel like that's when you start winning more often with control decks.
Yeah.
And it's not really worth your time in the beginning of the ranks.
Yeah, games take a little bit longer, but it's worth it to win the game at that type of rank.
Actually, I don't think I played any Hunter, now that I think about it, to get up there. And I didn't really play that much Zoo, now that I think about it either. I think I was playing Miracle and a little bit of Freeze Mage because I wasn't seeing a lot of Warriors on ladder. And then once I got to about 12, that's when I started seeing more Warriors and switched over to Warrior myself.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I've been enjoying the Warrior deck just because it's very just powerful. It's a powerhouse type of deck. It has the removal usually to deal with the early game. And I mean,
It doesn't have any auto-lose matchups.
yeah, it really doesn't have any auto-lose matchups. It's generally pretty good, high percentage of a win rate against any deck you're up against.
Fiery War Axe is a great card.
Yeah, Fire War Axe is awesome. But yeah, just to go back a little bit into tournament coverage, just talking about that real quick. The BlizzCon World Championship is taking place right now, and it should be ending, November 7th, November 8th? Isn't that like when the actual convention is taking place?
Yes. They are starting the videos and tournaments, I'm pretty sure, right as we speak, actually.
Cool.
I think I was able to watch some of it earlier today.
So that's exciting. Definitely check that out. I'll probably be watching a little bit of that in this coming week. But yeah, it looks like a lot of fun and something good to keep up with. So moving on very quickly, we're going to go on to cards of the week. So, guys, what has been a standout card for you?
Are you asking me first?
Yeah, sure. We'll go with Paul.
We'll go Innervate.
Innervate?
Yeah. Dude, I don't know if people saw the post. I think you were at my house when it happened. The turn 5 Ysera.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I won.
Yeah, getting those dream cards early in the game is a good thing.
Yeah, I think I got Emerald Drake first.
Yeah.
And
Emerald
then,
Drake is probably one of the best ones, if not Ysera Awakens is
Yeah, that's a really good one,
solid
too.
Yeah, definitely. Dave, what's been a standout card for you?
I have been enjoying my newly crafted Alexstrasza. Because I've been playing a lot of Freeze Mage, which it's kind of part of the combo piece in order to kill people. And then it's also just in my Warrior deck as well as Ysera. So it has double 9-drops, but that's because you have so much early game in the Warrior deck that I feel like it needs to compensate for the late game.
So instead of Hogger, you play Alexstrasza, or instead of Baron Geddon?
I don't actually know the exact numbers that I cut from his list, from Show's list, that
Are you
is.
playing Acolytes?
I'm playing one Acolyte.
Ghouls?
No ghouls.
Are you playing Cleave?
One Cleave, one Slam.
Cleave is... Oh, yeah, I don't play Slam.
Yeah, I don't play Slam either.
Cleave is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Cleave has
Really
been pretty
impressed.
sweet against
It's-
like the Zoo decks.
It's insane against turn 1 Undertaker, coin Undertaker, and then you just cleave, and it's like...
I feel like that's the only good time it's good against Undertaker though. Like
But a
if
lot-
they can
Double
like
Flame
coin
Imp.
out that Leper Gnome,
Double Flame Imp.
yeah,
Is pretty good too.
Flame Imp Undertaker's good too. But I just feel like if they go like Undertaker coin Leper Gnome, you're like, oh, come on.
I don't know. I actually played a game. I was playing Hunter, and I kind of like was like messing with my opponent's head, which is a lot harder to do in this game because you're not face to face like in Magic,
Yeah.
where you can kind of psych them out. But I had the turn 1 Undertaker and coin the web spinner,
Yeah.
but he was playing. What was he playing? He was playing something that could deal with the Undertaker on turn 2.
a lot of classes can do that.
Fiery
I'm trying to
War
think.
Axe, turn 2 deal with it.
Well, like as like a.
Crossbolt Mage. I don't know. What was he playing?
Oh, I was playing against a priest,
Priest.
and and he played turn 1 Northshire Cleric, so
Uh,
he was gonna get instant value if I played Undertaker.
Yeah.
And he was just gonna attack it and then heal and draw a card.
Yeah.
So what I did was like, I didn't play the turn 1 Undertaker, and I had the coin. So turn turn 2, I went Wild Pyromancer, Holy Smite his Northshire Cleric to kill it.
That's actually really
And then,
good.
then next turn I deployed the Undertaker and made it because Priest can't really deal with it unless you play Shadow Word Pain,
Yeah.
which a lot of them don't do, and
So
if
you-
they do, they're on 1.
So were you playing Hunter or were you playing Priest? You
Maybe
were
I-
playing against Priest, you said, but I don't know. I think you said you were playing Hunter at first, then
Oh,
you switched
yeah.
over to Priest.
Maybe
I wasn't sure.
I
what
don't
you
know. Both
put-
decks play Undertaker, so
It's true, but I think you said.
Yeah, I did say- I
Undertaker
did
into
say
One
Hunter.
Spinner.
I did say Hunter.
Okay.
Wait, Joe, how did I?
So
Oh no! I what I did was I didn't play the turn 1 thing, and I turn 2'd coined weaponed his dude, and then the next turn.
that's actually usually what you are supposed to do if you have the weapons.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was awkward because usually you're like, oh, sweet, I have Undertaker, make it a 2/3 on turn 2.
And if you don't have the weapon, you're supposed to kind of go for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you have the weapon, then it's worth it.
I
to
guess
just
the
wait
moral
your
of the
turn.
story is that it's harder to psych your opponents out in this game because you don't see them face to face.
There are lots of ways you can though. Like a zoo player can just skip out on a turn 1 drops most of the time, and they make it look like they're handlock. And you usually want to do that though, probably just like against shaman sometimes.
The only time I really do that is if I just didn't draw one draw. That's like the only
Usually
time.
when I face a warlock, I don't care if they're zoo or handlock. I'm just like, I don't care.
There's actually like scenarios though where you just don't want to play your 1 drop. It's really hard to like say exactly which one, but I know it's come up a couple times.
Yeah.
Well, against warlocks, it's you kind of just have to deploy it if you have it, because they're gonna soulfire no matter what you
Yeah.
do if they have it. So against warlock, I just
What?
are we talking about Undertaker still?
Yeah, sure. Undertaker.
Okay. Well, against a warlock player, I just deploy the coin and make it a 2/3 because if they have the soulfire, they're gonna use it no matter what. And against handlock, soulfiring on turn 1 is actually kind of bad.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to do it. It's kind of bad for them because it sets them behind 2 cards.
they would prefer to like owl your Undertaker.
Yeah, and sometimes they just can't, or they're gonna take too much damage and lose.
And the only time they'd actually want to soulfire your Undertaker is if they don't have a turn 4 play like a Drake or a
Which
Giant
they
or
usually do.
something. Like
Yeah.
a mountain.
I have to say my favorite card this week would probably be Baron Geddon because it's just like the aggro destroyer. It's just like it like
I hate you guys
Yeah.
so much.
I don't even think he did that on purpose.
I didn't do it on purpose. I just thought about it as soon as I looked
We were
over and I
just-
saw his
we were
face.
laughing about it.
We were just talking about the only legend that I wish I had in my warrior deck. I was like Baron Geddon, and then Josh just happened to say it before even realizing that we just talked about it like a half hour ago.
We were making fun of Dave. It was fun.
Yeah, because the week before that was Alex Straza, and now that I have my Alex Straza, I'm like, oh, I wish I had Baron Geddon, and now you guys are like, the best card is Baron Geddon.
Well, that's just been my favorite.
I mean,
I've had a lot of situations where like I needed to get rid of 2 bodies and just like he hits the table and just takes care of it.
He's really good against Zoo and Shaman and
Yeah.
Paladin too.
Like I have no shame like having like an armor smith on the table or even having a sludge belcher. It's like whatever. Like if it's taking care of them, taking care of those cards, then it's taking care of those cards. It makes it hard for Zoo to really bounce back unless they have like the Doom Guard to hit into it. But if you have if you have the cards to make sure that that doesn't happen, like have taunters and stuff, then I mean he's just a beater. Like it can be scary though since he deals 2 to your face as well.
So against like hunters,
So,
you're
like,
like, "Eee."
Yeah, you gotta be a little bit. You gotta be safe about playing Baron Geddon, but I feel like it's a really solid legend card, and I'm pretty sure it's Dave's next legend card.
Yeah.
So how's Hogger?
Hogger's not so good.
I like
it's,
Hogger.
It's good against
Hunter.
Pally, probably Shaman.
It's good against Priest.
I like
I don't think
Hogger.
it's that good against Shaman.
It's good against Priest. They can't kill it.
I like
They have
Hogger
to holy
more.
fire it.
I like Hogger more. Well, against, I'd say the scariest deck to play it against is Warlock. That's the scariest deck to play.
That's
it.
the easiest way.
I can
But
tell
that's
you.
when they're
easiest way of
playing.
dealing with it.
That's when they're playing, like the handlock list. That's when you're afraid of it. When they're playing, you're like, okay, like they can still get soulfired. Like don't get me wrong, but there's so many good cards, and particularly the warrior control deck that it makes it really good.
But it's so good to have that option to go turn 6 Hogger if they kill it, go Baron Geddon, and he's kind of like cleans up the rest.
Right.
And
They don't interact very well together, though.
Yeah.
well, I mean that's why if they kill it,
yeah.
Right.
which Priest can't kill it, so it's really good against Priest.
Yeah, they definitely have a difficult time.
Actually, you know what Hogger's really bad
they
against?
have just as easy of a time dealing with Hogger as they would with a Bloodhoof.
That's
Which
really
I play
hard.
both. Yeah.
Well, a lot of people usually will cut the Bloodhoof for the Hogger now.
Oh yeah,
That
I'm
just
not
doesn't seem like-
debating that Hogger's better than Karen Bloodhoof by any means.
Yeah, I definitely
It's
don't.
not close.
I wouldn't cut Carrion Bloodhoof for Hogger.
No.
For sure.
No.
Like that's not.
And he has Death Rattle, and that's important
Yeah.
in some decks.
Yeah.
Not so much in Warrior.
Yeah. It's just all around good. Just really.
You
good.
know who Hogger's really bad against is Druid.
Yeah.
It just gets swiped.
Swipe and I guess Wrath too, but Wrath you also need to have a way to deal with the 2/2 and then be able to.
Well, usually on
do
turn
it.
6, you probably have like Taj Dingo and like a Druid out,
or at least like a Savage
or
Force of Nature rather.
yeah. I mean, I only played one.
I just think it's
like
funny.
A ramp. It's like a ramp deck.
I think it's funny that a month ago Hogger like wasn't even seemed playable. Like it wasn't even seen as a playable card.
And then shows put it back on the map.
And yeah, and then it just went back.
I have a golden one. Dave doesn't even have one.
I don't
It's-
really care about Hogger. I just care about Baron Geddon right now. Baron Geddon does more, I feel like, in the matchups that he's good in, whereas Hogger does not do nearly the same power as.
I've actually
Have
seen
the same power
Hogger
level.
in a lot of Paladin lists too. I mean, no one really
I
famous.
haven't really seen any Pally lists lately.
I saw someone run it. I mean, it's not anybody who is like I can't throw his name out there. I don't even remember.
It's no famous streamer.
Yeah, it's nobody famous, but it was actually pretty cool because, I mean, Paladin doesn't really have any scary 6-drops besides Karen Bloodhoof.
Yeah.
And Hogger's kind of scary. He can be scary.
They're
If you're a
only-
hunter, he's scary.
Their only other 6-drop that they really had was like Sunwalker
But I think
or Sylvanas, obviously too. But
yeah, I mean Hogger is really good right now because Hunter's not really playing Explosive Trap. So
I
I
don't think that makes Explosive Trap that much better, but
it gives you a body to throw at the trap if they have a trap to test traps, which I like.
I guess it gets rid of all of the 2/2s that they would ever be able to make, but I mean, the only thing Hogger was really there for in the first place was just to, like, the 2/2 is able to test the freezing traps. Or just stay in the way of, their
6/5.
one or two creatures that they had on the table. Yeah. A Savannah High Main, it usually sat in front of too.
Mhm.
Which is actually a good thing, I feel like, but it's not necessary if you're playing against a lot of hunters.
Baron Geddon's really good against Savannah High Main.
It's okay.
I mean, if you kill the High Main,
Yeah, you have to kill the High Main, otherwise
it's
it
not
does
that hard
nothing.
when you're a warrior.
I mean, at 7 mana.
I
when
mean,
they-
warrior like Baron Geddon might as well be a warrior legend, class legend. He doesn't.
I
get
mean, you
played
can
in
play it in Druid.
I mean, you can.
That sounds
you
pretty
can
good,
play.
too.
You can play Lone Walker Cho in a priest deck. It's not good.
But it wouldn't be nearly as good as, like, a Baron Geddon.
I know, but the point is that it's a neutral and you can play it in any class.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to go with an Abomination until I get Baron Geddon, right?
I don't even like Abomination in Arena.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're a mage. You know who I
Sounds
like in
pretty
Arena
bad.
for mage, and it's a card that we had, or it's not a card we had, but we had a choice. Is that 1/7 taunt? It's actually pretty good in a mage deck.
Mogashan?
Yeah,
I don't really like him still.
I like him in Arena, in a mage like control shell because he soaks up a lot of damage.
He soaks up, like, 2 decent hits, I guess.
Yeah, 7 damage.
It's okay.
That's almost a third of your life.
Yeah, but it doesn't take out anything important on the board for your 4 mana that you're spending.
It doesn't matter when like
When you have an option between Mogashan, Warden,
when you have
and
4 fireballs
Yeti.
and a pyroblast, you don't care. And frostbolts.
I mean, that's when you live the dream. But
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, it happens.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, this is, like I said before, going to be a short one. So we only really have two more segments that we're going to run across, and the next one is favorite weekly streamers. Dave, have you been keeping up with any streamers?
I haven't really been watching a lot of Hearthstone.
Yeah.
I actually have one this week.
I've been watching a lot of best of NES stream.
Yeah.
A lot of just Nintendo speedrunners, which I thought was pretty cool that they put on Twitch. But anyways, streamers, I think I've caught Dog streaming
Yeah.
probably twice this week. He's probably been like the only one that I've gone out of my way to watch though, and I've been watching him play a lot of Druid, and he was playing Miracle for a little while too, and he was playing a ramp taunt Druid. And what was the Miracle list he was playing? I think he was playing Malagos, but I'm not sure. It was like a couple days ago. But yeah, I've been watching the best of Nintendo stream more. Just because that doesn't come around very often.
Yeah.
What about you, Paul? What
I've been
streamers have you
actually-
seen?
I mean, it was only one, but I was watching Brian Kibler play for a while.
Very nice.
He was like, it was before the season ended. He was trying to grind games, playing Priest to Legend, and he was losing a lot. And then I don't know, he started winning. He was playing Priest Control. It was pretty good. I don't know. He was losing a lot, like I said.
I mean, Priest doesn't have the strongest of matchups against Warrior, which was basically what the Legend ladder was littered with last season.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to be the same thing for this season, too. That's my guess, at least.
Until someone figures out how to beat it.
Well, I mean, you can't play Freeze Mage reliably in a Warrior control meta, but
Nope.
Freeze Mage beats every single other deck, basically. I mean, it's too bad that, like, Hunter feels like one of the only matchups that is decent against everything as well. Outside of that is probably the Druid deck if you're looking to just beat Warriors in general.
Yeah, I was beating a lot of Warriors. They can't really deal with 5/10s. It's kind of hard for them.
I mean, they also struggle against your combo as long as you can get them down to that far.
Yeah, which is pretty easy.
And they don't like it when you Wild Growth on turn 2.
Yeah.
Have you been watching any streamers this week?
I honestly haven't been watching too much. I did catch a little bit of HS Dog myself, and it was interesting to watch. But I mean, I haven't really had that much time to do it.
I'm a big fan of his play
Streams are
style,
going to be
so-
hard to come by, right? Because of BlizzCon.
Yeah, I mean, you're still gonna have your
People that didn't make it.
people that didn't make it, people that didn't attend. You never know. I mean,
There's still a lot of good players that aren't attending.
I feel like a lot of
Yeah,
the
RDU's not going, right?
I don't know about that.
I'm pretty sure when Josh listed off the list of the groups, he wasn't on it. Actually, maybe he was. Because he's a European player.
I don't know. I'll have to look back on that. Check it out. Alright, and we are approaching our last segment, which is in-game stories. Now, Paul already kind of talked about his turn 5 Ysera and posted a picture of it on our Facebook, and that was pretty cool. I think that was the monumental one for all of us.
Yeah, I dealt him 17 with an Emerald Drake.
Yeah, double Nightmare Emerald Drake to the face for
Yeah.
17, yeah. It's pretty good.
It was against a Hunter, too. I mean, Hunters can't really beat Druids.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really hard. All you have to do is save your silence for their 6/5s.
What do you guys think about the Druid versus Warrior matchup?
Druid's favored.
Druid is favored?
Yeah, I think Druid's favored. In
They
the
can
Warrior
power
matchup.
out a lot of things faster.
Maybe that's the answer.
Well, because you
That's what I was
can
just
you can
talking
play
about.
like a Taj Dingo on turn 2, and you can start just beating face, and you can keep their armor down, and they can't really do anything about it. They have to attack your dude with weapons to kill them with executes.
Mm.
So they can never really set up their shield slams, and then by the time they're higher up in mana, you have a 5/10 on the table, and they can't really kill it.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
I
For
mean, a
them to
lot
kill it.
of warriors are still playing like Black Knight and stuff like that, so they do at least have answers to your taunts.
But there's a lot of times. I play Sunwalkers.
There are a lot of things that just need to go right in order for the warrior to stay in control.
Yeah,
of
I
that
think
matchup.
any matchup is winnable,
Yeah.
but like things have to go right.
I mean, Shaman has a decent matchup against warrior if they don't run Baron Geddon.
I mean, they most
if the
likely
warrior
do,
deck doesn't have Baron
unless
Geddon.
unless they just don't have it.
Pally has a decent matchup, but it also feels like the same reasoning. But so yeah, it's basically the other control decks I feel like have a decent play against the warrior deck. Even handlock doesn't sound that awful, but I haven't really tested the handlock and warrior matchup.
Handlock.
It's not that bad. Like it's actually in Handlock's favor
Yeah.
because Shield Block can't deal with 4 8/8s
And
and
probably like a 9
Drakes
power Drake.
and Drakes. Like they
Or 9
can't.
toughness Drake.
Yeah, they just can't deal with it.
I feel like even if they get them low enough at that point in the game, they have the Lord Draxus ready and waiting, and like the only way to answer up with that is like having the Harrison Jones, and it's just like
Or
even
the
at that
Grommash kill.
even at that point, the Grommash kill is really probably the best way to deal with
Harrison
the Lord Draxus.
Jonesing a weapon.
A
That weapon,
Draxus.
it's probably not that good.
I mean, you draw a lot of cards, so you're close. I actually did have a couple of games though that like the handlock player was almost out of cards. I was up by probably 10 cards or so, so it was like I actually started to draw enough
Yeah.
that I kept up with him.
I think timing is everything
Yeah.
with Harrison Jones.
Oh, definitely.
Because I was playing a long time ago. I was playing a shaman deck, and I played a Doomhammer, and I didn't attack with it. I just shipped the turn back because I could only attack his face, and I didn't want to.
Yeah.
And he Harrison Jones it and fatigued himself and killed himself. And I was like, okay, or at least help me kill him.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to bring up too, ask you guys, have you guys seen a lot of shamans lately?
Not as much.
I've seen some of them.
Yeah, not as much.
I
Though.
wonder if that has to do with the
They got rid of the
recent
bots, right?
bot bannings.
Yeah.
Well, I think bots in any game is stupid. Like,
I think they are interesting.
I mean,
I do not agree though if they are basically what everybody is using to, I don't know, grind their character.
Yeah, I think
what
it's
are they
pretty
getting
sad.
at? Like, they're just getting ranks from it and wins?
They're getting ranks, they're grinding gold, they're
See,
doing quests.
the thing that doesn't make any sense to me about botting in this game in comparison to other games, like MMOs, like you grind in an MMO, you're doing it for gold, to make an experience an account and sell it. Like that's what it seems like most botters are doing. They're trying to like get the experience. But in games like Hearthstone, it's like the game, like games that have bots in them, they want you to experience the game in the first place. But Hearthstone, it's like it's a card game. Like grinding through a card game with a bot,
You can't do anything.
It's just
Yeah.
to basically collect a bigger collection. That's
that's it. That's all it does, and it doesn't seem like is it really worth it? Like getting
And what
banned?
if your
Like,
bot loses a bunch? You're
Yeah.
not really gaining anything.
It's not like you can trade off your cards and be like, oh, I just farmed all this gold.
Beating a
and-
shaman isn't that hard. If
Yeah.
you play, if a botter just set up their bot and went to bed or whatever, and the bot sat against a bunch of freeze mage decks, like shaman can't beat freeze mage. Like 100% can't do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
It-
yeah,
it
it's a
can be
really
difficult.
bad matchup. For
It's
Shaman,
really
sure.
bad for them. It's probably like a 95-5.
Yeah,
It's pretty bad for them.
yeah,
As long as you time your AoE spells right, it works out.
You just
usually
wait
in the
until
mage's
they
favor.
flood the board until they can't play anything anymore, and then that's when you deploy your AoE spells.
yeah.
Because other guys are little, so you can take hits, like 1,000 hits.
One thing that I was really annoyed about though with the whole bot scenario in Hearthstone is in World of Warcraft, if you were found botting, you were banned for good. Like your account was locked out forever.
Yeah, they ban your IP address, right?
They don't ban the IP address. They just ban. They black mark the account and make it so you can never log into the account ever again. And with Hearthstone, if you are found out botting, they give you a 2-month ban, which basically means if you wanted to go back to botting in 2 months, you could. Now, most people won't go
I mean,
back
do they
to botting because
can't
they'll
they
be
just
afraid, but
disable it?
disable the account?
No, the botting.
Yeah, you can start and stop the bot whenever you want. You have control over it.
No, I mean Blizzard. Can they do that?
No, the bot, they can't stop it from being made and people using it. But they can stop people from accessing the accounts that are being bought it on. And they're basically just like slapping people on the wrist instead of, being firm about it. Which
I don't know.
feel like
I think
they
a
should
2-month ban is fine for the first offense, but if they just keep going back and doing it, I mean, what stops them from making another account and just playing?
be. And botting that one or playing
No,
the
just
account?
playing.
I mean, that's fine. You're not botting.
Well, I mean, then it proves your point that it's not really solving anything, because they still get to play the game.
Well, I don't mind if you're playing the game, like, if you're actually putting in the time and grinding out the ranks and the levels and the arenas or putting the money into the game.
Can you even bot arenas? Because the deck's pre-made?
I don't know. We haven't
Or
gotten that
it's
far yet.
not pre-made, but...
I'm sure there's been a bot developed for it. I don't see why not. I don't see how there
I've
couldn't
never
be.
played against anybody that it would seem like they're botting. I only play against mages and lose.
I mean, they usually go
You mean
with
shamans?
more...
Huh?
I mean shamans that are botting?
In arena.
Oh,
But
okay.
I've never seen a shaman arena that was a bot.
When they first develop a bot, they try to go with the most consistent strategy, which in this case would be ranked. You can't be consistent with arena.
I just think it would be really... I guess you could construct the deck yourself and then have the bot play for you.
I think most of the bots, though, that I haven't really looked into it for Hearthstone, but they have like set lists basically that you can play, and that's one of the reasons why you can tell that it's a bot too.
I mean, I can tell when they don't answer you.
I mean that I just don't answer most times, but
I at least say hi. I'm not.
yeah. If they're
not a
nice
bad
to me,
person.
then
That's subject to debate, but anyways.
do you greet your opponent after they greet you? How about if they taunt you?
I had somebody last night who we were playing a hunter mirror, and I destroyed him, and he threatened me, and then added me to his friends list, and then didn't say anything to me. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I've had that happen.
I was like,
Maybe
I
you just
guess
didn't
I was
wanna-
like, I guess you're not that tough.
Maybe you just didn't want to queue into you.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know how that stops for them. What if they're on
You
their
can-
friends list? You can't queue. Into
If
them?
you look on the friends list, when somebody's queuing in for to go into ranked or into an arena, it'll say queuing into a game, and you just wait until that goes away and it says playing a game. Once it says playing a game, they're already in a game, so you can't queue into them anymore.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that bad of a slaughtering.
Most of the time, when people threaten me right in the start of a game, I just say thank you and then continue playing the game.
I never just open up and be like, I will crush you.
Yeah, it just seems to me like be nice and
I mean, I just don't say anything. If they greet me, I greet them.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't add people just to be like, oh man, I'm gonna flame them because
you guys so lucky. you
flaming is
scrub.
cool. That's what cool people do. Like, it's stupid. Like I said, I think on the podcast once before in previous episodes, I added people that destroyed me in the coolest ways, and I just add them because it was awesome. And I'm like, dude, that was awesome.
Do it again. Do it again.
I'm so happy that I lost that way.
So, Dave, do you have any in-game stories this week?
I had a Malagos rogue player get me from 26 life actually to 3 life in one turn, and I Alex Straws'd myself through a Cruel Taskmaster that I already had on the board into his Malagos, executed his Malagos, setting my life total back up to 15. And before that, I already had, I guess, Sarah that had sat on the table and gotten me 3. What's the Nightmare? That card, yeah. And then killed my opponent basically a couple turns later with Nightmare. So that was pretty fun.
That's awesome.
Unfortunately, I couldn't kill him that turn. I played the Alexstrasza, but
Yeah. I think the coolest in-game story I have this week is, it's more just like, it's like not getting great value off of my cards, but I had like, in this arena I'm doing right now, I have 3 Unleash the Hounds, 2 Savannah High Mains, a lot of good cards.
The nuts.
Yeah, like it's a nuts pool. I'm hoping to get 12. If I do, I'll post it up. But I had this turn where he just played like Fen.
And Creeper.
No, Bloodfin Raptor, and he had a 1/1 body. I think he made from the I forget what that guy's name is. The 2/3 that makes the 1/1 boar, but the 1/1 boar got pumped.
Razor Fen Hunter.
Yeah.
Didn't you just say that?
No.
Bloodfin Raptor.
Bloodfin Raptor.
Okay.
But yeah. So I had like all 3 Unleash the Hounds in my hand, and I was also holding a Sea Giant. So I was just like, all right, well, Unleash the Hounds. I already had 2 bodies on the table. I swung in properly, got his guys down to 1, Unleashed the Hounds again, and then I ended up just playing the Sea Giant and just annihilating him. I basically cleared the board and left him with the Sea Giant after this guy already played 2 polymorphs because he was a mage and dealing with my dudes. And I just like slapped the 8/8 down and I'm like, deal with it. And the 8/8 just like won me the game. Just like.
I have another story from today that you would appreciate. I killed somebody with a 1/1 imp. Wow, and it was Wind Fury. He was at 2, and I had to Wind Fury my own guy to kill him.
Awesome. That's awesome. Well, guys, this was a pretty short podcast. Hope to bring more to you next time we're on here. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/theweeklygrind podcast, on Tumblr at theweeklygrindpodcast.tumblr.com. You can also find us on Twitter at twitter.com/weeklygrindpod. And you can also find us on iTunes and on YouTube as well. We will be switching providers for podcasts pretty soon, so you might see all of our stuff be re-uploaded to iTunes in a little bit. So yeah, just keep in touch, check in on the Facebook, and we'll have that all updated for you. But yeah, that's really about it. Anything you guys want to say before we get going?
I was going to say, if people are interested in what the Druid deck I've been using to beat warriors, well, I mean, it beats warrior, I can post it, because, I mean, I like Druid a lot, and Dave obviously likes Druid a lot.
Yeah.
It was the
And-
first class I got golden.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, usually we'll go over, like, the top cards on Hearthstone. We'll make a couple decks for you and whatnot. Just not this week. We've had a lot of stuff going on, so but next week we'll hop right back into it on the normal broadcast routine that we have. But yeah, that's really about it for us.
I mean, I'll try to get at least one deck list up there for this week, whether it's Hunter, Warrior, or Druid.
Maybe I'll send
I
you
don't know.
my Druid list, and because I don't know how to crop them yet, like, just the list.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention.
Do you know how to
Microsoft-
use Paint
Yeah,
Tool?
Microsoft-
No, I don't actually. Like, I know how to start up Hearthstone.
You know, you can
That's how
figure it out. Google it.
Yeah, I can't Google it.
Microsoft
I have
Paint.
to do that to Microsoft Paint.
We're gonna have to buy you Microsoft Paint for Dummies.
Okay. At least you could buy it. I don't have to buy it.
It's free.
The person at the cash register just laughs at you.
You have MS Paint already on your computer. Just type in the word paint in program.
But I just want you to do it because I'm lazy.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm trying to teach you how to do it, so I don't have to.
Well, that's why I wasn't listening.
Oh.
So you trying to teach me.
Alright, guys. Well, this is Spirit Bomb,
This is Wings of Wax.
And this is Rice Cakes.
and grind on.
Have a great week.